Hello friends, welcome to Zenier Coding Web Development Platform. In today's session, we are going to create an interesting of Drumkit. As you know, on music basis, each one has a each thing. Maybe I'm using my keyboard, I'm clicking A. So it shows the sound of clap. Next, I'm going to click the letter of yes. It shows a hi-hat. So next, I'm clicking the keyboard of D. It gives kick. So next, I'm clicking the keyboard of, the letter of F. So you can able to see I'm just processing for G, H, J, K, L. So similarly, whatever the keyboards or whatever the letters in your system or laptop, we can create the respective sound for each letters. So this is very simple. We can create this particular concept by HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So under the body part, I'm going to add the classes. So you just remember on the demo which we saw, we have inserted the keys, no? A, S. So for this, I'm going to use as key division classes keys and making their data to be set. That is division data. I'm making their keys. For each keys, I'm going to assign the values of as numbers, and I'm making their class to be as key. So next time, I'm just processing. I'm going to use KBD, which is nothing but keyboard, where I'm going to assign the value of K. Next, I'm going to use span, that is inline class. So under the span class, I want to make the sound. So this sound should be, I'm using the clap. So next I have done the span. So next I'm going to close this division part. Again on the continuation of this, I'm going to make the division of data key. So for this data key, again I'm going to assign the value of 83. The same thing I'm processing, I'm creating as class is equivalent to key. So I have repeated the process for other also. I have inserted for yes, under the inserted yes, I have used the hi-hat. That particular sound I have been inserted. Next for the 68 key for the D, I have assigned the value of sound as open hat. Next for the 71, I have created the letter as G, for which I have used as boom. You can able to see on the right hand side whatever we have processed on the HTML, the respective thing is displayed. So again on the continuation, I have done the audio to be setted. You can download this audio from any web browser. Just copy on this link in this page. It definitely it works. So I hope this particular HTML part, it gives a clear picture. Next we want to create the styling part. So for the styling part, I'm just moving over here where I'm going to use my body comma HTML margin. I'm setting here as 0. Next I'm making their padding to be 0, and if required you can add the font family. Next for the keys I'm going to use, where for the keys as display, I'm going to make their display as flex, and I'm making their flex to be 1, and I'm making their minimum height. So I'm making their minimum height to be 100 VH, and making their align items is center. This is totally optional, but if you are making this in the sense, it will look elegant. and I'm making their justify content to be center. So again I'm processing for the key, the class of key. For this I'm going to use their border, which is 0.4 rem, and this is also solid black, and I'm making their border radius is 0.5 rem. Next I'm making their margin as 1 rem, and I'm making their padding as 1.5 rem. So next I'm making their transition. I'm just adding this property where I'm using as all 0.07 seconds rem s, and again I'm making their width as 10 rem. So we have done the 10 rem. On the continuation of this I'm going to add maybe for the keys I can add like text alignment. This could be quite fine. So I'm using the text alignment. So under the text alignment I'm making here as center, and I'm making the color to be white, and next I'm making their background to be RGBA 0,0,0,0,4. Next I'm making their text shadow is 0,0,0,5 rem black. So this is over. So next for the playing I'm going to create for playing, where I'm using as my transform, where I'm using the scale to be 1.1, and again I'm making their border color. I'm using as ash FFC600. Next you can add their box shadow, which is 0,0,1 rem, and I'm using as ash FF600. So next for the KBD I'm going to use their display, which is block, and I'm using as font size, which is 4 rem. Next for the sound also I'm going to create. For the sound I'm using as sound font size, which is 0.2 rem, and I'm making their text to be transform, which is uppercase. So I'm converting the A and A, S, D, all the letter to be in uppercase, and the letter spacing should be 0.1 rem. So next I'm going to add their color, and I'm going to use as ash FFC600. We have done the HTML part. Since the CSS part and HTML part is done. We have to do the scripting part. So I'm using the function play sound, and and using this. Next, I'm making their constant audio, which is need to select from the user document dot query selector. I'm choosing as dot, maybe the audio, which is used from the data key and should equivalent to my dollar e dot key code, and I'm using the square bracket to close this statement. So next I'm going to process for the constant of key, which is also the document dot query selector, and I'm making their division, which is data key, and it stored the value from the e dot key code. So I'm just closing this statement. So I have to start. So now it looks fine. So next, on the continuation, I'm going to create for if my audio, I'm checking my audio, that return key dot class list dot add playing. Whenever it is playing, the audio current time, audio current time should be equivalent to 0. So next, my audio should be play. For a play, I am adding this function. So once the play sound function is complete, we need to understand the remove transition. We need to also process for the remove. I'm going to use a function for remove transition. So under the remove transition, I'm making here as the condition if e dot property name, I'm cross checking with that, and I'm transform, and I'm making it as return. So next, I'm processing for e dot target, where for the class list I'm just removing from the playlist or from the playing. So again, I'm going to add for my window. Under the window, I'm going to add the event listener, where it processes the key down and it should play the sound. So this statement is over. Next, I'm going to process for the constant keys. So under the constant keys, I'm going to start from the array from the document, from the query selector, all keys have to be chosen. So it should choose all the keys. For this I'm using dot key. So next I'm making here as keys dot for each. So I'm making here as key is equivalent to key dot add event listener, and I'm making as transcendent, and I'm removing the transition. So far we have done the JS part and CSS part and even the HTML part. Let's see the overview of this. So under the home tag, I have created the keys with the respective inline element of span class, and I have inserted for each basis. You can able to see the difference. And once it is done, I'm inserted the audio for each file where I have used the tag as audio data key. So next I have created my scripted type, which is my JavaScript function is going to be done. And under the styling part, I have inserted the URL for this background, and I have done for my body part, and I have done for the keys, and I have done for the dot keys, playing, and KBD sound. So all these things has been inserted on the CSS part. Next, when I'm coming to the styling part, it's very easy. We have very less coding part. You can able to see where we have inserted the audio key, and we have inserted the key class list, and we have removed the transaction. We have used this remove transaction. So let me see on the output. I'm just clicking the A, S, D, F, G, H, J, K, L. I'm now typing as E. Now typing R, T. So apart from other keys, if I'm typing, it does not replying anything. Hope this Drumkit session has given a clear vision and how to create on this simple basis. So we can see on the next interesting video. Thank you.